a city that knows the proper way to smash a guitar, it is the city of rock and roll. Man, in the footsteps of rock legends of the past, another one has been shattered to pieces before kickoff here at Huntington Midfield in Cleveland. Straight ahead, it's an AFC intra-conference contest between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Personnel is out. Everyone's ready to get this one going. And off we go from Cleveland. Kenneth Gainwell now to return. He stopped on the run back of the 27. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Rodgers throwing to start it off. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. The rookie out of UCLA in on the stop.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
5 still to go here. This is 2nd down. Running for the first time with Jalen Warren. He won't be able to get past the line, and very quickly, Brock, they can be facing 3rd down to begin this ball game.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate's training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
About set. This is 3rd and 5. This might be a free play for him. And that one's incomplete. For now, he brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about.
Defense.
Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him.
Automatic 1st down.
The hard count works. 3rd down play not needed. The flag gets him the 1st. Rodgers set to pass. This one's going to hit the ground. Incomplete. Looking for his running back there. Going to send him back to the drawing board now for 2nd down.
Grant Delpit on the coverage.
From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. Into the hands of Pat Fryermuth. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. Let's see how they attack this 1st down, partner, from the 45. Trying to get outside here with Warren. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
You know by now, Kate, with this time we spend together these toss plays, the best way to defend them is to hit them before they get started. And that's exactly what the defense did.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Rodgers from the gun. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. So that play doesn't work out, but things make it even worse for them. Looks like one of their big guys out front is in need of a look from the training staff. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Here he goes, third and long. Rodgers is hit, the ball is loose, and the Browns pick it up. He's at the 30. Gets the 10. And what a way to begin the scoring drive as they take it back for the touchdown. The Browns capitalize on that turnover and take the lead. Great time to bring some extra pressure off that snap, and that made all the difference in getting that fumble and the defensive score.
I can hear it in your voice. I think you saw it coming. I saw it coming. I think even the crowd saw it coming.
Yep.
That quarterback did not see that blitz coming, and boy, did it pay dividends.
This is Andre Schmidt to try the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Browns will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Browns 7, Steelers nothing.
Still reeling a little after fumbling that away, but they're going to get it right back with this kickoff. On return, here's Gainwell. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
First and 10.
Here comes the Pittsburgh offense for their second drive of the game. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10. Rodgers to throw. He's running with it. Rodgers slides down, and he picks up the first.
Aaron Rodgers. It's a gain of 16 yards. And the Steelers first down.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Chased out to his right. Now we get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. This is 2nd and 6 coming up. Rodgers will look to throw. Dump off caught by his back. They're on him as he gets it up to the 47. It's the rookie out of UCLA, Brock. Carson Swessinger making the stop.
A 3-yard
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break off something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
Now Rodgers on his 3rd and short. And the connection was there, but he couldn't hang on. It should have been a first down, but instead, it's going to be 4. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. On 4th down, it's Corliss Waitman on for the Steelers to punt this away. And a well-placed kick here. Not quite on the goal line, but they're pinned deep at their own 10.
10-yard line.
So here are the Browns now, headed out for their first drive. And they're brought out by the rookie who was the talk of the NFL draft, Brock. First-round hype, but didn't go until the 5th round. It's Shedeur Sanders.
As you're running onto the field with this kind of field position as a quarterback, you're reminded yourself and your huddle, hey, let's be disciplined. Got to be on the details here. Got to take care of the football. And also encourage them and let them know that script you've been working on all week, well, there's a lot of field and there's a lot of plays ahead of them. Go put a score on the board.
We'll bring him down, but not before he picks up 7, Brock, to begin this drive.
The cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity to play whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Sanders. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught. First time this game they've looked to him. So now they have 3rd and short.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long. And it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
3rd and short here. Sanders. Defender's there. It's intercepted. Into the house it goes. It's a pick 6 and Pittsburgh touchdown. Just tried a little bit too hard to get that 3rd down conversion. Brock wanted so badly to keep that opening series going, and that one cost him.
Yeah, I think it's less, Kate, in this case about the throw and much more about crediting the defense who was ready and willing to be opportunistic, not just knock that ball away.
Yeah.
They wanted to take advantage of that opportunity, and they jumped on it.
Chris Boswell for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers tie this game 7-7. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. Here's a return from the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Following the kick return, we've got somebody shaken up, so we're going to get a stoppage here as he's attended to. Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
Still 10 to go. It's 2nd down now from the 26. Tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. Now, hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. They'll air it out on 3rd. Steelers bringing pressure. No place to go. Down he goes. Now this is the dreaded sight anytime there's a sack. He's hurting after taking that hit, and they're going to get out there to check on him.
Corey
Browns looking to punt on fourth down, so on comes their southpaw, Corey Bojorquez, to handle it. This lands deep into the end zone. We're picking things up at the 20 after the touchback.
20-yard line.
Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. Things sure have started out rough, and they've stayed that way through 2 drives. Maybe drive number 3 here is where we see this offense get rolling. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Rodgers. He's going to tuck it and run.
Kid, if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 100 times. Completions. Well, that wasn't a pass. It was a scramble. But it nets the same thing, keeping this offense on schedule.
2nd and 3 now. Off the play fake. Here's Rodgers. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
Hey, Kate, you know that line, time is of the essence? It certainly is in the pocket. Not enough time there to let that play develop down the field, and the 2 were not able to reel it in.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. So they'll head up here, 1st and 10 from the 34. Play action here with Rodgers. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass.
Intended for
DK Metcalf, the intended receiver.
Incomplete.
And it sets up 2nd down.
He was covered by Denzel.
You hear
Ward.
defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
Motion man sent left. On 2nd down, Warren has some daylight through the 40. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. We'll pause now for an injured player, and it looks like he's worse for wear after handling that last carry. The ball's on the 48. Here we go. 1st down. Off play action. Here's Rodgers. And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. 2nd down. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. No luck on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Intended for
See the pass,
Gainwell.
time up your hit, and jar that ball loose. Not a lot of players are hanging on to a well-placed hit like that one.
So after that prior incompletion, it's third down. They'll throw, third and long. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete, fourth down coming up. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. The Steelers set to punt it. Corliss Waitman will kick it away. And that kick will get out of bounds without a return. Looks to be a little shy of reaching the 20. The Browns getting their offense out there. They're still in search of that first down of this game, Brock. Hoping to put together a drive and avoid calling on the punter again. Cleveland about ready to go. Here's first and 10. The first carry for the speedy Dylan Sampson. And this is brought to a stop up at the 34-yard line there. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
That's good for a Browns first down.
Simply put, Kate, that is a drive starter extraordinaire.
So they'll head up here first and 10 from the 34. So when Reed, they'll give it to Simpson. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. First down run netted him nothing. Here is second and 10. Back to throw. Here's Sanders. On the screen, this is Sampson. And this one doesn't go far.
Sanders pass.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards. And the defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
It's third and 8. Need to get a chunk here. To the air on third and long. And that one's too far in front of them, so now they're facing fourth down.
Jerry Jeudy.
You see this all the time. The number one thing you see NFL defenses do to try to force that fourth down, get to down coverage. Put your cover guys on the field. Let the boys up front cut it loose with pressure, and let the cover guys go shut it down.
They'll punt another one away. Corey Bajorquez returning to the field. The punt heads towards the sideline. Not returnable. Well done. Oh, baby, there's way too much behind that kick, and he knew it. So that's all the way over the end zone for a touchback. Now the offense getting set to go for the Steelers. And in a tie game, we've been sensing a breakthrough coming, Brock. Might this be the drive where we finally see one side get the edge over the other?
Well, if it is, Kate, you know and I know it's about play-to-play execution, and more than likely, making sure they can convert in some of those situational downs.
All right, Steelers to the line now. First and 10. To throw is Rodgers. It's caught right side by Freiermuth. And some excellent work to drive them all the way up past the 30-yard line. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. First down now, ball at the 33. To throw, Rodgers. Hits him on the out route. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're sent backwards on first down.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on second down.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Trying an inside give to Warren. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Myles Garrett coming in for the stop. Now we see he's in some pain after making that tackle. Team personnel out now to take a look at him. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Third and long for him here. Sideline, he's got it, and he gets the feet down too. And he is taken down as he drives this to the enemy 40. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
That's good for a Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
From the gun, give to Gainwell. Drops by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. They stick with Gainwell. Excellent play defensively as they get to him behind the line. That's going to bring up 3rd down. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. 3rd and long. They're going to throw. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. So that brings up 4th and long.
Kate, you know I talk to you all the time about these money downs and third downs and the plan you got to have. It's kind of like a manufacturing plant. You've got to manufacture open looks, and that time the plant was closed.
And he's had a very busy game already, Brock. 3rd time they've called on him as he gets this away. Now we see the Browns offense headed out. And they're playing with a chance to take the lead right here. Get a nice little cushion in what has been an otherwise really close game.
Yeah, and really the mindset, Kate, is this has got to be the drive. When you break the huddle, you look at each other and say, right now, these are the moments that tilt the game in our favor. Because you know if you don't get it done, you've given your opponent that opportunity.
Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. A handoff here to Sampson. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock them behind the sticks. Job well done there.
And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. This is a tough spot to punt. Got to convert here on third down. Throw here, third down. In trouble now, and the ball is out. And he gets to it in the end zone. This is going to be a touchdown. The Steelers parlay the turnover into a lead. As soon as that football hit the ground, Brock, we were just waiting to see, would it be 2, would it be 6? Who's going to get on it? It all came down to who jumped on it first.
Yeah, and in that mad race to the football, Kate, it was 6 points that won out. They were alert. As soon as they hit it and forced that ball out, quick to get on it before anybody on offense could try to salvage things and limit that significant damage.
Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Steelers take the lead here, 14-7 in the first.
Browns 7.
Nice little energy on their sideline after that fumble return score, and with plenty of energy, he'll send this one away. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line.
First and 10.
Cleveland's offense all set to take over. Cleveland about ready to go. Here's first and 10. They give to Sampson here up the middle. Escapes the defender. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38. To the air on first down. Sanders. He puts some juice on it. That's grabbed inside the 30. This is going to make it down to the 24-yard line.
38 yards.
That's a 38-yard play for him to move the sticks.
Browns first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were. QB just nailed it.
Tough one to retain through that hit. And that'll bring up second down.
Brings up second and 10.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
From the 24 once again, it's second and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Sanders. Intercepted in the end zone. Jalen Ramsey comes up with it.
That's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
Now Pittsburgh's offense running back out for a new series. And they're backed up just about as deep as they can be off the interception. The Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Gainwell. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Again, this is Gainwell. And they're able to drag him down as he reaches the 15-yard line.
Gainwell.
Gain of 9 yards on the play.
A gain of
And the
9
Steelers have a
yards.
first down.
And the Steelers first down.
I think with that call, they were trying to set him up with a short third down run, but he said, nope, not on my watch. I'll just go get it all right here. Now, playbook's wide open for 1st and 10.
First down. Here's Rodgers. Oh, the ball is out. And this is going to be Browns football.
You know, Kate, we talk about these wide receivers all the time and their incredible body control, but I'll say this, these pass rushers in this day and age, the body control they have to get home on these sacks, but more importantly, to create these strip sacks is so hard to do, and that is a master's class in how to take the ball away. Well done.
The Browns and quarterback Shedeur Sanders ready to get back to work. Their last series sure was looking like points up until that interception, Brock. Hopefully they can move the ball similarly well as they take over here. First call here coming from the shotgun. It's Sampson running out of the gun. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. The gun, here's Sanders. Can't connect on the throw to his running back. That's an incomplete pass. Takes him to 2nd down. To the air, Sanders. And the ball is out. Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. All right, so they retain possession, but they're going backwards, Brock, after they put it on the ground.
Well, I think you know the only thing redeeming about that play, Kate.
They got the ball back.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, they got the ball back, but a whole lot longer down in distance.
Well, they got the football back, Brock, but things don't look much better. It's 3rd and long. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Catch made left side by Judy. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. All right, we see he's a little worse for wear after delivering that throw. Gonna have to take a few moments as they come out to look at him. Defenses are fine with surrendering that completion if it means making the stop short like they did and bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, I like when these defensive coordinators say they want to populate the ball. And that was a perfect example of it. Don't let the playmaker get started.
So the Browns sending out Andre Schmidt on this 4th down. Ball on the left hash for this 41-yarder. And that one is not where he needed it to be. It is off and no good. And the deficit stays at 7.
Gosh, it didn't look like anything was wrong with that snap or hold either. He just rushed it a bit, and it winds up off the mark.
The Steelers offense headed out. And nothing to show from their last drive except, well, we did see a couple of short tempers, Brock. Not happy to have fumbled away that series.
Yeah, fumbles are one of those mistakes, Kate, you don't get a lot of grace for in the NFL. Just one in a game is too many. Got to find a way to protect the rock.
All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Receiver in motion, going left. Rodgers off the play action. Throw left side, finds Freiermuth. This gets forward a little, not a ton, to the 35. And it's Carson Schlesinger who got over there for the stop. Second and 6 coming up here. Here's a give inside to Gainwell. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about.
Holding. Offense.
But partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. So this is going to be 2nd down and long following the holding flag. Running it after the penalty. And all he can get is a yard here, bro. It's going to be 3rd down.
The ball carrier.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Let's see what they went with. 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. So this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
Corliss Waitman out there again to punt this away. And he'll try to hit this one well. And this doesn't just reach the end zone. He kicked that one all the way through it for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard
The Cleveland offense back out and getting set for the drive. And they take the field with nothing to show from their last series, Brock. Gotta imagine they're pretty upset with how it ended.
Yeah, and the only way to flush that feeling, and the good teams do this, is to go down and make sure your kicker's not attempting a field goal, but an extra point on this drive.
Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Starting on the ground, here is Sampson. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. Play action, Sanders. Stepping up, and he's going to run. And give him the 1st down on that run, partner. Sanders slides to a stop.
It's a gain of 11.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
They've got 1st down here from the 36. And off to Sampson. He's going to move past the 45. And the stop is made just before he's able to reach that midfield strike. Now after the run, we see he's visibly shaken up. Team medical staffers headed over to take a look. Football's on the 48. Here we go. 1st down. Sanders on the give, headed right. And they do get him down, but the damage is done. This gets down inside the 35-yard line. Following the run, we see he's still out there dealing with some sort of injury. They'll head out to check on him.
Paid for this? That.
First down now, ball at the 33. From it, hit behind the line, and the ball is loose. But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession. We get a stoppage here. One of their big blockers up front. In some pain following that play. He's being attended to. Still their football, but need to make some progress here. This is second and long. Working out of the gun, Sanders. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. David Njoku, the guy he was looking for. And things look tougher now with third and long.
Brings up third down.
I think everybody on the
13.
offense was already thinking about the next play to run as they watch that short little throw to the tight end. You really don't expect to see many of those gimmies dropped.
Third and long here for Sanders. Oh no, he lost control of another one. But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession.
T.J. Watt. A gain of only a yard. It's fourth down.
So this is Andre Schmidt to attempt this Browns field goal. This will be from 52 yards. Online, but not enough juice to it. That one falls short. It's no good. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Good field position as the Steelers come up to it. First and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Rodgers. Throw it over the middle. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Looking out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. No connection on the last play. Now it's third down. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. And that one's incomplete. For now, it brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about.
Foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Third down stop. They were walking off the field, but that offense, Brock, that offense didn't move. They saw roughing the passer, and they are ready to continue this drive. Never a good time to rough the passer, Brock, but third down, that hurts even more. Gives him the first. They'll run here, following the penalty. We'll have him gain about a handful there. That was Denzel Ward who brought that play to an end.
Down at the 30-yard line.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby, but you know what? Talk to managers, and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you could win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you, you get runs of that length, it may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
Completed left side to Smith. He's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out.
It's a gain of 14
Big gain, 14 on the play.
That's good for
and a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
First down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
To the air on first down, Rodgers. That'll be incomplete to start the new set of downs.
Intended for Calvin Austin.
Looking for his wide receiver there. So it'll be second down.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
To throw again here on second down, Rodgers. Looking slant route, complete. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Third down and 4 now. This is the 7th play in this drive. They'll throw again. Rodgers. Lost control of another one. But I believe a Steeler was first in that football. They make the recovery and keep possession.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the offense.
Facing fourth down, the Steelers opting for the field goal. Chris Boswell out to do the honors. This is from 35 out on the left hash. Boswell able to knock it through. And that'll push it to double digits and a 2-possession game.
Anytime you start sniffing that red zone and you don't score 6, you only come away with 3 points. Not what you were looking for on the call sheet.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Has this at the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. That'll be the end of one in this AFC North battle. Our score, 17-7. We'll return to Huntington Bank Field after this. We're ready now for the second quarter. Browns in control of it. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. It's free again. Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. And he's brought down and a penalty flag out on the play as well. Well, that play went for negative yards anyway, so no need for them to accept that penalty. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Here comes Sampson. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice game. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Corey Bajorquez on the punt. They could really use a good one here. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. I guess he didn't really quite know his own strength there. That kick cleared the end zone entirely. It's going to be a touchback. The Steeler offense set to get back on the field. And they were able to contribute 3 points to the lead their last time out. Another chance to build on that advantage here. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw. Dumps it off to his running back. And good tackle, but a flag is down, likely against the defense.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, you know this better than most, Brock. Screens normally leave some rushers to come free, but still, it's not often you get roughing the passer on one.
No, it isn't, but I think of Tom Brady. To me, not only the greatest QB sneaker in the game, but he was one of the great screen masters, too. He understood how to sell a screen, draw those defenders to him, and like the QB did right there, sometimes they'll even tee off and you get the penalty.
1st down throw here by Rodgers. Loses it again. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover.
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security's a premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
The Browns offense and Dylan Sampson out to begin another drive. First down from the 42. They'll go play action for Sanders. He's throwing deep to the left side. He's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Cleveland. The Browns reduce the lead to just 4.
This front office personnel people love to pair speedy wide receivers and ask their coaches to do just that. Put some play action in there. Let him go run. Because with his speed, that route is a winner, winner, chicken dinner.
And this is Schmidt for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Browns cut it to a field goal game. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Ball is set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Johnson with a return here. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. After that return, he's looking pretty banged up out there. We're going to have a stoppage as team personnel comes out to look at him. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Staying between the tackles with Gainwell. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
At the 28-yard line.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
Rodgers from the gun. That's incomplete on 2nd down.
Rodgers pass.
Just cannot afford right here, Kate, to go 3 and out. Not when you watch your counterpart score a touchdown. Got to cling to that lead and find a way to convert this 3rd down. It's a big one. And cut out some of the mojo from the other side.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. 3rd and long. They're going to throw. Low right side, caught by Smith. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Corliss Waitman on to punt. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Starting out trips right here. 1st and 10. He'll work against the blitz. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be brought down up at the 31. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a Browns 1st down.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
1st down, here's Simpson. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. On 3rd down, here's Sampson. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down.
The tackle made at
a couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now.
A 2-yard pickup brings up
Sometimes
3rd
just feel like in the
6.
background of every ho-hum run is a bigger play that just needed one more component. Hit that extra block a little longer. Find the lane quicker. The defender may be a half step late, and this could have been much, much more exciting.
Sanders now on 3rd down. And he's off the mark there. Too far behind him to adjust. That brings up 4th down. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. The Browns are lined up to punt. Calvin Austin on the return for the Steelers. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now.
At their own 20-yard line.
line, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Gainwell. And he manages 6 yards to begin this one. We've got 2nd and 4.
Kenneth Gainwell,
That run may not have gotten you a first.
He was
Sure,
tackled at
nice
the
little run to set
27-yard
the table.
line. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
7 yards on that last play, so this is 2nd and 3. This is Gainwell. He dodged the tackle. And he gets this one up to the 40-yard line. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. From the 40-yard line now. This is 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Rodgers. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete.
For Calvin Austin. Incomplete. Grant Delpit on the coverage.
So after the incompletion, still at that 40-yard line for 2nd and 10. Rodgers will look to throw. Dumped off to his running back. And they're approaching midfield with that gain of 6. He's up to the 46. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. Here they go, getting set for 3rd and 4. Blitz coming for Rodgers. That one's incomplete over the middle.
Intended for
No luck
Calvin
finding his
Austin.
receiver that time.
Incomplete.
And 4th and 4
He was
coming
covered
up.
by Denzel Ward.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? We chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. The Browns offense and Dylan Sampson now to begin another drive. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. First call here coming from the shotgun. Now he'll throw off the play fake. It's free again! But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession.
It's a 10-yard
Well, you
loss.
don't like to see the fumble, but hey, at least they were able to be the ones to recover it, and they keep possession.
Yeah, and I think the key there was to stay calm through the chaos. Cooler heads prevailed and got him the ball back.
So they keep the football, but now they face 2nd and long. Back to throw. Here's Sanders. On the screen, this is Simpson. And he mitigates the damage by falling on it, but still a loss on that play. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. They dodge the turnover, but still 3rd and pretty long. They've got to figure out. Third and long for him here. Loses it again. And they scoop it up. Time to push for the line. They just kept going their own way, and that's going to cost them. That is a safety. Well, Brock, you know that I like to spin positive. So at the very least, they were able to get to that fumble and only give up 2. Easily could have been 6 there.
Well, why don't you haul down to the field and tell those defenders to be positive, too? Because some of their body language is a little dejected. I get it. You wanted 6 points once that ball hit the deck. But cheer up, boys. 2 points in possession, that's not bad either.
So following the safety, Brock, they're on now to begrudgingly send it away with a free kick. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
And the Steelers.
Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. And they take the field in good but not great shape, Brock. They've got that lead, but no doubt they'd love to see it grow.
Yeah, and just having the lead does take some pressure off. It doesn't change the sense of urgency. It's always on tilt in the NFL, but it should allow them to operate a little more freely.
The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. Has him on the quick hitter. And it doesn't get much, up to maybe their own 40. And on the tackle that time, the former top 10 pick by the Steelers, Devin Bush.
Well, that's a modest little drag route. But if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. To throw, Rodgers. Wow, it's free again! I believe a Steeler was first to that football. They make the recovery and keep possession.
Recovered by the offense.
Well, they got the football back, Brock, but things don't look much better. It's 3rd and long. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Pushes it towards his running back, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It brings up 4th down.
So far, this script, well, it's dictated some early looks for this running back, and now you're seeing the adjustment defensively. Not so easy on those checkdowns. Nowhere for that ball to go.
Corliss Waitman brought on to punt this away. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And that kick a little too well struck. He drives it into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
The Browns offense and Dylan Sampson now to begin another drive. And they come back out to the field with something to prove, Brock. You've told me before that it is embarrassing to give up a safety.
Yeah, it's a little hard, Kate, to run off the field and look at your defensive mates as you've given up 2 points on offense. So, yeah, the last thing they want to do is do that again and instead turn this momentum around.
Cleveland about ready to go. Here's 1st and 10. Find the left side with Sampson. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Here's Sampson. The 2nd down run produces 7 before they bring him down. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Third and just 2 to go. option. Loses it again. And the Steelers get to it. Nothing doing on the return, but the damage already done, partner. They take it away on the fumble.
You know, Kate, I one time had a coach tell me, hey, listen, I need you to be more of an artist and not a boxer. I need you to create. QB here does a great job creating, trying to buy something out of nothing. Unfortunately, as the clock ran out, that ball's punched free, and he gives it away.
Now the offense getting set to go for the Steelers. Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. First down. Here's Rodgers. He's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball, and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
Ball still on that 29-yard line as they come up to it. Second and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass.
Intended for Adam Thielen. Incomplete. He was covered by Tyson Campbell.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Throw here, third down. Completed to his running back. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Facing fourth down, the Steelers opting for the field goal. Chris Boswell out to do the honors. 1 for 1 so far. This is from 40. Boswell able to knock it through. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
I call that a win-win in the first half. You win on the scoreboard, obviously, by adding 3 and adding to your lead. But you also win mentally, making your opponent know if they make a mistake, you're going to capitalize.
Now Boswell on to send this away.
Pittsburgh.
Fielded at the 7. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Browns offense and Dylan Sampson out to begin another drive. And their defense held up after that fumble. Only gave up 3, so time for this offense to make it up to them. Get some points of their own. Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes first and 10. Drive starts with an option. Right side. Wow, it's free again! And it looks like, yes, they say Steeler football.
Pretty clear case of the QB not finding anything open downfield, just trying to improvise, make something out of nothing. Quarterbacks not known for keeping as good a grip on that ball as the runners, and he's got to punch free pretty easily for the turnover.
So they'll head up here first and 10 from the 34. They put Austin in motion left. Johnson gets it on first and 10. Breaks the tackle. And he works it inside the 30. That's a gain of 7.
20, the ball carrier.
That is just a great drive start. What every offense wants. Gives you a little bit of energy, a little juice, and now a really manageable second down.
Nice run last play. Sets up second and 2. Again, this is Johnson. And he's dropped everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Third and a lone yard coming up. Here's Johnson again. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. Pickup of 2 here. And the Steelers have a first down.
That's one as a running back in this league, you got to convert every time. Teams really don't care. If you're a Hall of Famer or an undrafted rookie, you can't get 1 yard for a first, they're going to start holding auditions for someone who can.
First down, and they go right back to it. They stuck with him, but this one heads the wrong way. He winds up losing yards. He is quickly making a habit out of wrecking plays, Brock, and it doesn't seem to matter what type of play that is.
It's what the best of them do. We talk about just the versatility of offensive players being dual threats. This guy's a dual threat against the pass, and that time stuffing the run.
Play action here with Rodgers. Taken in by Smith. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3. So chipping away a few here ahead of this third down.
Makes it third.
This defense didn't give
and 7.
up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
Third down, they need 7. They'll throw, third and long. He's got his man. This is Austin. And he is well clear of that marker. That effort's going to set them up with a first and goal.
It's a gain of 16 yards. And the Steelers first down. First and goal, Pittsburgh.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Offense in position now. It's first and goal. Johnson. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on first and goal. Back to the line they come, second down. Here's Rodgers. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with it.
And it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers grow their lead on the turnover. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
Boswell to add the PAT. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Steelers lead by 15 now.
29. Browns 14.
Now Boswell on to send this away.
For Pittsburgh.
Return coming from the 6. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Cleveland about ready to go. Here's 1st and 10. Motioning him from the slot right. Sanders on the shotgun handoff. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Headed in reverse so far. Time to shift into drive. Here's 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Sanders. That's caught by Williams. This one up to about the 27-yard line. Madden stopped by Alex Highsmith.
A gain of 4.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
To the air on 3rd and long. Defender is there. He knocks it away, and that's going to force 4th down. Now, hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. The Browns are lining up to punt. And he's been getting all of it every time out. And this one never had a shot. It's well over the goal line and the end zone entirely. That'll be a touchback. The Steelers and Aaron Rodgers headed back out on offense. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Slot man's in motion right. Here's Rodgers on 1st and 10. He loses it again. And they scoop it up. Time to push the line. And this defense bringing the hammer down. Driving them backwards through the 9.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the offense.
Still their football, but need to make some progress here. And this is 2nd and long. Off the play fake. Here's Rodgers. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And he's taken down. But before that offense comes out, they may want to wait a second. We've got a flag down, and it is in the backfield. So as it tends to do, roughing the passer comes at the worst time possible for this defense. That interception goes away.
Yeah, and that is such a lonely place as you finally hit the quarterback, but you look next to you, you see the penalty flag, and you know right away. And then to see your buddy on the other end get a pick nullified, that's a lose-lose situation.
They're coupled together a yard there. Tackled there by Jerome Baker.
At the 25-yard line.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Rodgers from the gun. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete.
Intended for Adam
Looks like a bit of a concentration drop on that one. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. They'll air it out on 3rd. It's in or no, they dropped another one. Picks dropped on back-to-back plays, Brock, but it does force a 4th down. They're going to bring Waitman on now to handle the punt. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend.
The Browns take over
Back
first
out,
and
now
10
comes the Browns offense.
at their own 20-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. First and 10. They'll go play action for Sanders. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
Incomplete. Intended for David Njoku. Brings up second and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So at the 20, here's second and 10. Throwing again here, Sanders. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there. Jerry Jeudy, the intended receiver. That's going to leave him with a tough third and long.
Man, with how hard it is, Kate, to get these plays down the field, you can't let the coverage off the hook with a drop. It just can't happen. But you're going to see it right here. He saw the open space ahead of him and started running before he ever brought the ball fully in.
Wow, it's free again! Steelers have it, headed the other way! And the nightmare continues as they bring the fumble back for a touchdown! The Steelers capitalize on the turnover and add to their lead. Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Steelers grow the lead now to 22 points. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Still reeling a little after fumbling that away, but they're going to get it right back with this kickoff. Has this at the 6. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down.
At their own 25-yard line.
Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes first and 10. On the give, it's Sanders. And he's able to manage a couple on that run. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Following that little 2-yard run, it's second and 8. A handoff for Williams, running left. And that one doesn't get him much. Give him maybe a yard. It's third down.
The tackle by Alex Highsmith. A 1-yard gain brings up third and 6.
Third and long. They're going to throw. Oh, he puts some air under this one. Right side. So the heave knocked away from the intended target. That brings up 4th down. Now, after delivering that ball, we see some discomfort out there. So here come the trainers to take a look at him. Here's Corey Bajorquez now to punt this away. And this is the 5th time he's been called upon today.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
Now Pittsburgh's offense running back out for a new series. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers finds him over the middle. And the Browns pick it up. Not much added after the recovery, partner, so that is where they'll take possession from the fumble.
This really should be the last place and the last down you expect to fumble on. There's still 2, 3, maybe more to work with. Just take care of the ball. Go down when you're hit and set up for 2nd down.
The Browns getting their offense out there. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Give to Williams from the gun. And he'll take this ahead for 7. We've got 2nd and 3 now. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. After that little 8-yard scoot, here comes 2nd and 2. Gabriel here from the gun. To the right and pulled in by Judy. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Offense is set. 1st and 10. The left side, and Tillman has it. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
You know, I've learned over the years, defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
On the gun, Gabriel. And they don't get any help on this 2nd down, Rob. He is out right along the line, so no gain.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
Third and 10. Can this offense get it done? Working from the gun. It's Gabriel. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. So this is Andre Schmidt to attempt this Browns field goal. This is a 35-yard look from the right hash. And he missed it. It's no good. And that miss follows the pattern of how well things have gone for them here.
Even the best kickers on earth, they'll miss one every once in a while, and it stinks. I guarantee you he wants that one back. But all he can do now is push forward. Short memory, best kickers always have, and convert the next time around.
All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. He's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41. He gets 16 yards on that play. And a fresh set of downs for Pittsburgh.
For a Steelers first down.
So after plenty of scoring already, we have reached the 2-minute warning. Hang with us. More football in Huntington Bank on its way. Big shot to begin the drive has him up beyond the 40. Rodgers going to throw on first. He loses it again. But I believe a Steeler was first to that football. They make the recovery and keep possession. And after losing a hold of that one, he's still shaking up on the play. So we'll see team personnel out there to tend to him. So they keep the football, but now they face 2nd and long. Here's the backup. First throw. Couple deep on the line. Oh, the ball is out! And this is going to be Browns football. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Cleveland about ready to go. Here's 1st and 10. They're going to throw now, following the turnover. It's his running back. And he's able to get this down to the 13.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. It sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
Offense to line. This is 2nd and 4. Gabriel's going to throw it. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. The throw now. Here's Gabriel. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Well, they're in a pretty big hole already, Brock. They're going to pass on the field goal and keep chasing that touchdown. Now Gabriel on 4th down. And they'll turn it over on downs as that pass comes up empty and off the field they go.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
The Steelers offense headed out. And their last series, we never really got to see what the true final outcome would have been because they fumbled things away early.
They sure did, Kate, and that adage is true in the NFL. Ball security is job security. Got to protect the rock.
The Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. And he reaches the 17-yard line as he's hauled down. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. This is 2nd and 6 coming up. Looking out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete.
Intended for Calvin
Looking for his wide
Austin.
receiver there.
Incomplete.
And that takes them to 3rd down.
It's 3rd down. And 6 yards to go.
Throw here, 3rd down. Knocked away and hits the ground, incomplete. That brings up 4th down.
Intended for DK
Small little
Metcalf.
jab there, finally landed
Incomplete.
by the defense. Able to break up one of these passes, but let's be real. We know who's been landing the heavy punches all game long. Looks like they're going to keep being aggressive too, Kate. I love that. Stay on the gas.
Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player.
The
They're headed out
Browns
to
take
check on
over
an
1st
injured
and 10
Steeler.
at their own 20-yard line.
First call here coming from the shotgun. Here's Gabriel. Now here he goes. And that's a 1st down from Gabriel as he slides to a stop. The Browns take the first of their 3 timeouts.
12 yards.
They'll have 2 left to
And the
work with before
Browns,
halftime.
1st down.
You know, these are the type of plays that
1st and
really
10
get
at
an
the
offense going.
32-yard
This is a
line.
chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Williams now on 1st and 10. And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one. Now a timeout's called. Cleveland using its 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
Gabriel setting up to throw. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Picked off by Peyton Wilson. And the Steelers get the football back with great field position there at the 36.
They'll take over 1st
And as they
10
celebrate the turnover,
at the
we're going to shift our
36-yard
focus to one of
line.
his teammates who appears to be injured following that play. Team staff heading out to look at him now. They've got 1st down here from the 36. From the shotgun, here's Rodgers. That one falls incomplete, but our attention's still behind the line. He got cleaned after that throw and drew the instant flag. So the good work to defend the pass canceled out by a mistake in the pass rush as they get him for roughing the passer. Roughing the passer on that last play, and that's always going to lead to an automatic first down. To throw is Rodgers. Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And now they face second down.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
Here's 2nd and 10 from the 21. Rodgers to throw. Wow, it's great again. But I believe a Steeler is first to that football. They make the recovery and keep possession.
Recovered by the offense.
Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. Here comes Chris Boswell and the Steelers field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 47-yarder. Not quite far enough, and no good. It's off the crossbar and out. And they wanted to add 3 more there, but silver lining, they aren't exactly hurting for a big lead at this juncture.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Thank you, Scott. Great work there. We, on the other hand, didn't have a great first half. Here's hoping things get a little bit closer this time around as we get set for quarter number 3. Now Boswell on to send this away.
For Pittsburgh.
Here's DeAndre Carter with the return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Browns have the football first to start the third, and here comes their offense.
23-yard line.
In that first half, they just couldn't keep up the pace, but they're going to be the ones setting the pace here to begin this third quarter. Offense showing trips out right as they get set for this 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Gabriel. Big trouble now, and the ball is out. And the Steelers get to it. Not much return after the fumble, but they will take over inside the red zone.
You know, we could go down on that field and ask any player about the first lessons they learned in the game of football. And almost every one of those kids is going to say the same thing. Ball security. I bet he could even hear his old high school coach's voice in his ears right now, telling him next time, you got to hang on to it better.
The Steeler offense set to get back on the field. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Dive play straight ahead. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Back-to-back carries here. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers push their lead further to start the half. Well, Brock, not much to say other than the fact that this offense on point. They're just clicking today.
Just rolling. I mean, this is clinic. This is what I call teaching tape. Being well prepared, and more importantly, going out there and executing at a high level.
Boswell to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers grow their lead yet again.
43, Browns 14.
Now Boswell on to send this away.
For Pittsburgh.
Here's Carter on the return. He stopped on the run back at the 27.
DeAndre Carter.
Well, Brock, this game, like all of our games this week, one piece of our John Madden Thanksgiving celebration weekend. A way that the NFL and all of us here at EA Sports honor a legendary figure in the history of this game on a holiday he held dear. So for Brock, myself, everybody on our great EA Sports crew, hope you had an excellent Thanksgiving, everybody, and a great weekend of football. Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun here. We had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. They'll try something else from the 27 this time. 2nd and 10. Here's Jerome Ford for the first. Ball's out. Ball's out. He lost it. And it looks like, yes, they say Steeler football. Oh, boy, Brock. Some very unfortunate deja vu offensively here. This is exactly how their last drive came to an end, too.
Yeah, bummer for the offense, but exactly what the defense has worked on this week. Right, they find those ball security culprits and they take advantage of them. They study that tape, Kate, all week long, looking to see who's loose with the football and where they can take advantage of it, and they've done it on back-to-back drives.
Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. And the turnover puts them right back out there. Just a few plays since they scored that touchdown.
Well, they didn't get much time to rest, but guess what, Kate? That defense didn't get much time to rest either. Now you can go in attack mode while they're still shaking off that last touchdown.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. They blew up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense.
One of the challenges when you run that jet sweep is you better secure that edge. I've not seen a great jet sweep in my life where you don't win the edge of the line of scrimmage. And that time, the defense got the job done.
Gave away a couple on the 1st down run. Now it's going to be 2nd and 12. Trying to throw this from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down. To the air on 3rd and long. Passing struggles bleeding over from that last play. He's forced to get rid of this one. Following that incompletion, we see he's pretty shaken up after taking the hit on the throw. They're out to look at him now. Here comes Chris Boswell in the Steelers field goal unit.
On for the field
From
goal.
the right hash, a 49-yard look.
attempt.
And this one had a brief chance, but not a good kick in the end. He misses it.
Steelers
And they're
43,
unable to pile another
Browns
3 onto that
14.
lead.
Well, there's certainly never, ever a guarantee from that distance, but that's one you'd expect to be in your kicker's range. You hate to have a drive come away with nothing, but that's exactly what happened.
Now we see the Browns offense headed out. And the last 2 drives have been teaching tape for that defense, Brock, and probably have earned this offense a lecture in the near future as well. Just haven't been able to take care of that football.
Yeah, I just kind of want to focus on those guys, everything they're doing on that side, because the humble pie this offense has eaten, it's been a tough watch.
And that's an 8-yard chunk to start this one. That brings up 2nd and 2.
While that run may not move the chains, Kate, that is such a confidence builder. Sets the tone for more play action, maybe more runs. That's exactly how you want to start a drive.
Nice run last play. Sets up 2nd and 2. Now Gabriel. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
You know, I'm not sure what else could have been done there, Kate. Just the right call defensively to come up with a 3rd and short stop.
All right, looks like this is the moment they're going to make their comeback push. They're going for it on 4th. And the QB keeps it. Oh, the football's loose. And he's going to fall on top of his own fumble, but it's a turnover either way. He's short of that 1st down marker. Now, after battling on that run, we see one of their linemen appears to be injured and in need of some attention. First and 10 now from the 46. Now a give running right. And he'll only take this for about a yard. It's going to be 2nd down. To the well again. It's on the turf, ball's out, he lost it. And this is going to be Browns football. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. The Browns, nice field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Judkins to begin the drive. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Finds him quickly on the RPO. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Second down now, 7 to go. Looking to throw this one. Gabriel. Oh, no, he lost control of another one. But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession. And the hits just keep coming for them on this play, it seems. Elsewhere on the field, they've got a player hurt and in need of some attention. Near disaster a moment ago, but this drive's still in trouble if they can't convert on 3rd. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Screen here for Williams. And they make the tackle at the 38. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
This dude just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on the screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Toss for Williams. Jukes away from one. He has it to the 23-yard line as he's brought down. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10. They'll work against the blitz. Finds him over the middle. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Just a yard left to go on 2nd down. Well, it looks like the defense jumps just before the snap there.
Encroachment, defense.
Just lost his focus and jumped. It's not a huge penalty, but it is a costly one because it gives him enough for a 1st down.
Automatic 1st down.
So now, following the penalty, it's 1st and goal. Running it after the penalty. Dives for the goal line. They knocked it out. And it looks like the defense got it. No touchdown. They recover, and this is going to be a touchback.
Kate, did those sidelines get loud or what? It was practically in unison. Everybody's shouting to jump on top of that one. We just needed an official signal if it was 6 points or a touchback. And fortunately for them, well, it was a touchback.
Now the offense getting set to go for the Steelers. They lost it in enemy territory their last time out. Never a spot you want to fumble. So I imagine, Brock, it's going to be 2 hands on the football as they return to the field. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Here's Rodgers. He loses it again. Oh, he gets it back. Wow, it's free again. And this is going to be Browns football. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did and injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. If only every drive could start like this, right, partner? 1st and goal to begin this one. Gabriel here from the gun. Catch made. And he's going to have a touchdown. We'll see if he gets to keep this, though, Brock. We've got some laundry on the field.
Holding offense.
Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. Wrong time to get caught for holding. Backed him up as they'll retry this 1st and goal. Working from the gun. It's Gabriel. Throw right side, caught by Njoku. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line.
David Njoku.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship.
At the Steelers'
Good thing on a football
17-yard
field.
line.
Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
Still a good bit of work to do here, Brock, as they come up on it, 2nd and goal. On the gun, Gabriel. To the end zone, but incomplete. That play is going to force 3rd and goal.
That's a veteran move right there by a rookie quarterback. You see so many rookies, we do, Kate, who try to play hero ball and force things in every single spot. And he's already wise enough to know how to throw it away.
3rd and goal. The offense hoping something can finally go right here. 3rd and long for him here. He loses it again. Steelers have it, headed the other way. Free up the middle, gets a breakaway. The 40. Hits the 20. This is returned all the way into the red zone. What a way to add on to that turnover. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Now we give to Warren, coming right. And the Browns pick it up. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
Cleveland's offense all set to take over. And Brock, I know the goal is always points every drive, but I think just as big a goal, got to play clean football here. You cannot give it away for a 3rd consecutive possession.
Yeah, we call that rebuilding some confidence in yourself as a group, right? Just to execute without the mistakes. Pros, you can shake off a turnover with ease, but back-to-back, even the seasoned vets have a little trouble getting past that.
Cleveland about ready to go. Here's 1st and 10. Here's the backup. First throw. He rolls to his right. He's got room to roam. And Watson slides to the ground. Enough to earn them a new set of downs.
It's a
When
gain
the play
of
breaks
16
down,
yards.
every once in a while, you got to be
And
able
the
to make a play
Browns
with your legs.
first
His offense
down.
counts on that ability to
First
evade
and
pressure
10 at the
and
30-yard
occasionally
line.
make plays just like that one.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Working from the gun, Watson. the right and pulled in by Judy. And he's going to get a few here, brought down at the 33-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Second and 6 coming up here. Shotgun handoff here for Judkins. No luck there. Ran that one right into traffic and went nowhere as a result. It's going to be third down. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. They'll throw, 3rd and long. He's going for it himself. And that's a first down from Gabriel as he slides to a stop.
I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs.
At the
well done.
45-yard line.
Let's see how they attack this first down, partner, from the 45. To throw now. Here's Gabriel. That's caught by Williams. That's going sniffed out quickly, shut down behind the line.
I know coordinator, quarterback going to be upset with that first down because you call a screen on first, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, that defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Gabriel to the air now. Dialing up a receiver screen. He gets it forward a little to his 46. Kyle Duggar hauling him down. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Third down, line to gain 9 yards out. They'll air it out on 3rd. Wow, it's great again! And it looks like, yes, they say Steeler football. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Warden. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 7, Brock, to begin this drive.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line.
These are some of the little hidden plays in the game. It doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
After that little 8-yard scoot, here comes 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, here's Rogers. Look at that power, deep left side. That finds him deep down the sideline. And look at the footwork there, touchdown! The Steelers grow their lead off the turnover. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown! Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space to work with, yet they have such an awareness to secure it first, tap dance the line, and go get that touchdown.
Boswell gets that point after the go. And the Steelers continue piling onto this lead.
Browns 14.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Here's Carter on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down.
Carter on
now we get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler.
28-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. 4. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
Taken down.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
1st down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Off the play action. Here's Gabriel. Loses it again. But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. They dodged the turnover, but still 3rd and pretty long. They've got to figure out. Gabriel now. Wow, it's great again! And they scoop it up. Time to push for the line. And this one, not surprisingly, Brock, a loss of yards as they had to scramble to even get that football back. Now, hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. They'll bring out the punter here. And this is going to put him up to 6 punts today. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Rodgers. Taking the deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
You know exactly what he's thinking. Hopefully next time it's a little bit easier. The degree of difficulty on that one high. Throwing to double coverage, odds are against you.
After the incompletion, 2nd and 10 once again from the 20. Warren here from the gun. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Former first-rounder Devin Bush making the play.
A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
Browns are in the nickel for this 3rd down call. Throw here, 3rd down. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
Incomplete.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
The Steelers set to punt it. Corliss Waitman will kick it away. Somebody give this guy a break as he sends his 10th punt away. Baby, there's way too much behind that kick, and he knew it. So that's all the way over the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense back out and getting set for the drive. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a gift to Ford. Nearly starts the drive with a first down run. He stopped a yard short, gain of 9. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. First down carry, got him 9 yards. Here comes 2nd and 1. There's a gift to Ford. Nearly broke even, but the defenders followed that zone read well. That's going to cost him about a yard. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Five DBs out there for the Steelers. 3rd down. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. Oh, he put everything he had into that throw. It is caught at the 20. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that's going to be good for a Cleveland 1st down.
That is so much more the exception than the rule when you're targeting double or triple coverage. You may be fortunate to complete a fair number of those throws, but gains like that, those are rare, and that's big time.
From the red zone now. Dumped off to his running back. Breaks the tackle. Football is out. And this goes out of bounds. The fumble, not ideal, but hey, did end up being a small gain on the play. After a fortuitous recovery, this will be 2nd down. Gabriel setting up to throw. He loses it again. And the Steelers get to it. And they can't cobble a return together, but they do have the football. They've got it on their side of the field.
Well, sure, you're looking to try to get a 1st down on 2nd down. You're trying to create a manageable 3rd down, but I'll tell you what you're not trying to do, ever, is give the ball away. And that's what the offense does to the defense right there.
The Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here with Warren. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
Brought down at the 23-yard line.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake, here's Rodgers. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
Washington.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
No connection on the last play. Now it's 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. He lobs this one up, looking deep to the right side. And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down.
Incomplete.
Well, that window was open down the field, but this league is so fast. And these defenders, well, they closed the gap before that throw could arrive.
They're out now, ready to punt it. And he's hoping for a well-placed strike. And this doesn't just reach the end zone. He kicked that one all the way through it for a touchback.
At their own
This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. And they know they let points slip away with that fumble in the red zone, Brock. They're looking to get him back here. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's 4. Lost control of another one. Steelers have it, headed the other way. Buttoned up pretty well after that fumble, but they are still going to take over in the red zone. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. While a new offense preps to head out, we've got a stoppage. They want to make sure this is a turnover.
The previous play is under review.
All right, so we all know what we're looking for here, Brock. Where did an elbow, maybe a knee, something touch down? And as it does, is the ball loose at that point?
Yeah, throw in forearm, wrist, shin. There's no question the offensive guy's screaming something hit the ground while the defense is hoping it didn't.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the nice defensive play, all for naught. He was down first, no fumble. After a fortuitous recovery, this will be 2nd down. Now Gabriel steps up and he's running with it. And he will manage a little before being forced into a slide, as that's going to chip something off this upcoming 3rd down. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw this one. Gabriel. He's going to run for it. Wow, it's free again! They scoop it up. They can still run with it. And that right there is why they coach you to never give up on a play, Brock. Recover the fumble, and he's able to get him the 1st down, too. Here's Gabriel. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete. Second down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. Back to the air, Watson. Gets it to him on the screen. And they're all over that screen, Brock. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Kate, that's one of those situations as a quarterback that on my grade sheet, that's a negative. That screen was ambushed by the defense, and you've got to throw it away. Just find a way to put it at his feet and not create a negative play for your offense.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. 3rd and long. They're going to throw. Oh, Watson lost it. And the Steelers get to it. Nothing doing on the return, but the damage already done, partner. They take it away on the fumble. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. First and 10 from the 32. Warren hit behind the line. That ball's loose. And this is going to be Browns football.
This is exactly what you want out of your defense. If they're not going to secure the ball on offense, and they're going to give you a shot at it, push that ball loose and get a body on it for the recovery.
Back out now comes the Browns offense. And I'm sure they all got a stern lecture on ball security between possessions after they fumbled it away on their last series. Nice field position here for the Browns as they start out first and 10. Watson, quick pass wide. And they stop him before he gets much on the return. And it looks like, yes, they say Steeler football. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. All right, Steelers to the line now. First and 10. Warren quick on the draw. He starts out this drive with a nice gain of 8. Second down. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Nice run last play. Sets up second and 2. Play action here with Rodgers. Loses it again. And the Browns pick it up. And they can't cobble a return together, but they do have the football. They've got it on their side of the field. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. The Browns, nice field position here as they start out first and 10. A give up the middle to Ford. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner,
at their
got a tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Second and 10. Need something positive here. Here's Watson to the air. We've got a screen to the running back. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. It's a nickel look from the Steelers here on third. From the gun, Watson. And that one's too far in front of them, so now they're facing fourth down. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. full quarter to go, but they feel like they got to make their move now. They are going for this. They're going for it. Here's Watson. Making the call himself. This is going to be down to, looks like about the opposing 36 for their next snap. That's a gain of 10, and staring at that turnover on downs. Instead, they pick up the first.
First down.
You know, before the snap,
First and 10
right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
First and 10. Here's Watson. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
Watson's pass intended for Cedric Tillman. Incomplete. It's now second and 10.
Here's second and 10 now from the 36. Working from the gun, Watson. Steelers have it, headed the other way. And the nightmare continues as they bring the fumble back for a touchdown. The Steelers capitalize on the turnover and add to their lead. That was awesome. The return became a question of, does he have enough steam to make it back before someone runs him down?
That is the most sprinting we're going to see him do on a football field. Maybe his whole life. That distance, whole lot more than the few yards he's usually running towards quarterback in the pocket. But he had enough to reach that goal line. You're darn right he did. He could sense it, and he wanted it.
Boswell to add the PAT.
Point after.
Right down the middle. It's good. And the Steelers tack on 7 more to their lead.
57. Browns 14.
Nice little energy on their sideline after that fumble return scored, and with plenty of energy, he'll send this one away. Here's Carter on the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
DeAndre Carter.
Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause.
At their own 23-yard line.
All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. First and 10. The pistol, it's 4. Oh, no, he lost control of another one. But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession. Leaving 5 on that carry, bringing up second and 5. Nearly saw them trade fumbles there on back-to-back plays, Brock, but a chance recovery kept one turnover from answering another.
Okay? Can we please?
Yeah?
Can we please hold on to the football? Somebody!
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Patrick Queen in to pick it up. And the Steelers will get the football right at that 25-yard line following the interception. Okay, I guess we've got a couple of very giving teams today, Brock. One side coughs it up with a fumble, then the other side graciously hands it right back with the interception.
Hey, listen, if you like playmaking defenses, then you like this game right here. These defenses, they're the ones supplying the big plays, and they're putting their stamp on this game.
Now Pittsburgh's offense running back out for a new series. And they're set up well inside of enemy territory, and they've got a short field after that pick. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's first and 10. Trying an inside give to Warren. And This is going to get them all the way into the red zone. He's taken down at the 13-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. All right, they look set now. Here we go, 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Johnson. So this one goes against the offense. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. So they catch the illegal block in the back, Brock, and that's rare that we see the clipping call. It's a dangerous play. It's rightfully going to back up this offense. They'll run here following the penalty. He's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
A 2-yard gain brings up 2nd down at the 16-yard line.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Working out of the gun. Here's Rodgers. And he sails that one over the end zone. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause.
In it to win it.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
His pass
Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
It's now.
Well, he found the route he wanted pretty quickly, Brock, but maybe, I don't know, he telegraphed who he wanted a little too much because that defender sure got there just as the ball arrived to force it loose.
Yeah, this is one of those tough moments as an analyst, right? Because you're right, offensively didn't get the job done, but I'm going to give a gold star to the defense. Anytime you make contact and you disrupt that pass, that's a job well done defensively.
Chris Boswell to kick
Now
off for
Boswell on to
Pittsburgh.
send this away. Here's Carter on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler.
At their own 22-yard line.
First call here coming from the shotgun. Back to work after throwing the pick. He'll step up, and there he goes. And Watson slides to the ground with enough to earn them a new set of downs. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Great start to this drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. Oh, he shoves it forward, complete. Gets it past the 50 and down to the Steelers' side of the field. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Now Watson on the play fake. Nowhere to go with it, so he's just going to throw this one away.
Those are the kind of decisions you got to make in that spot. And the smart quarterbacks, they seem to do it consistently. When you're in enemy territory, a throwaway is always better than risking a turnover.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
What was that? Are you kidding me?
Out of the gun, here's Watson. Lost control of another one. The Steelers get to it. And they can't add anything after that recovery department, but they do take possession of the football.
Hey, a normal old stop with 3rd down just wasn't good enough for this crew. Nope, they had to rip the ball away from them literally in an impressive and dominant play that sets their offense up for success.
The Steelers and Jaylen Warren headed back out there offensively. And they brought out their kicker for a field goal their last possession. This time they'll look to bring him out for an extra point instead. First and 10 from the 43. On the ground with Warren. Powering his way forward a bit. Give him about 6 there to begin this drive.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
First down run gets him 6, so now it is 2nd and 4. Rodgers from the gun. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Rudolph from the gun. That's cut for the first. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets it down to the 14.
It's a gain of
a big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
The Steelers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Thankfully, only 1 quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. It's their football, and with that type of lead we've got on the scoreboard, this game pretty close to over. Bringing the offense up to the line. 1st and 10. Trying the left side with Johnson. And second down's going to be a good bit tougher. He can't even get back to the line. This play loses yards.
Thomas on the tackle.
Kid, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he takes this one down to the 10 before hitting that sideline. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Six yards to go here. It's third down. Looking from the gun. Rudolph. Throws caught. And he's going to have enough for the first down. Not by much. He got it. That's all that matters. Sets him up with a first and goal. Johnson. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. Second and goal coming up. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. After the loss, it's second and goal from the 5. It's Johnson again. And this is close, but it looks like they stopped him just short of the goal line. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. Third and goal now as they try to pile on further. And they sneak it with Rodgers. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Steelers continue adding to an insurmountable lead. Aaron Rodgers with the touchdown on a quarterback sneak to the end zone. All right, Brock, wondering your thought here, because to me it felt like they already had a play picked out to go for it on fourth down if that sneak hadn't worked. Do you agree?
Well, by they, if you mean the guys in the booth on the sideline, sure. But the 11 on the field, that effort just showed you they were not thinking about anything else but pushing it across the line.
Going after up and good from Boswell. And the Steelers continue adding on to that lead.
Browns 14.
Now Boswell on to send this away.
For Pittsburgh.
This return starts at the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25.
The Browns take over first and 10.
Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player as they're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Cleveland about ready to go. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Williams to start the drive. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. So the long run a positive, but we see the negative here as one of his blockers in some distress following the play. Down inside the 40 now with a 1st down following that last play. Another run for Williams. And he's sent out of bounds after an 8-yard pickup, so they've got 2nd and 2. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Last run got him 9, so now they need one more here on 2nd down. They stay on the ground with Williams. That is exactly why you rally to the football. He got through one tackle, but the next guy gets him for a loss. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. So now here's 3rd and 5. Here's Watson. One pass brought in. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10. Up the gut they go with Williams. And they're going to be set up at the 11 after that play. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. All set now. 1st and 10. Play action now. Here's Watson. Escapes the pocket. Wow, it's great again! And it looks like, yes, they say Steeler football. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. All right, Steelers to the line now. 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run by Johnson. And all that for a single yard. What an effort to get what he could there.
Brought down at his own
He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd
In
and
truth,
8.
Kate, kind of felt like he was lucky to get what he got right there. The pressure from this defense to go get that safety, it was on. And that same pressure, well, they're not going to back down here on 2nd down as well.
On the draw, this is Johnson. And he's going to have this one up to about the 17-yard line. we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. A give. This is Johnson. And they send it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Johnson again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. Five men in the secondary for the Browns. 3rd down. To the air on 3rd and long. Pressure gets to him, and he goes down. That's a sack. We do have a marker down. And where it's at on the field, partner, that sure looks like it's in the neighborhood of holding. Well, the negative play makes it even easier to decline that flag, and that's going to bring out 4th down. Punt team on the field. And he's going to have to hit this one from the edge of his own end zone. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause.
At their own 20-yard line.
Browns look just about ready, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Watson now. Screen here for Williams. Escapes the defender. And some excellent work to drive them all the way up past the 30-yard line. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. First down now, ball at the 33. That's complete to Tillman outright. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. First and 10 now from the 46. Throwing is Watson. That one complete to Njoku. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. Forward to the right. He loses it again. Oh, the fumble jumps out of bounds. What a break there for the offense. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. They'll come up on 1st and 10. Watson looking to throw. Wow, it's free again! But the Browns got this one back, so they will luckily hang on to possession. Still their football, but need to make some progress here, and this is 2nd and long. Watson. Malachi Corley reels it in. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention. This offense looking to convert as they come up on 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. No one open on that play, so he's going to chuck this to another county. So we have to pause here. Team officials saw what we did, an injured Brown, and they're tending to him now. So out now comes the punter. It'll be Corey Bajorquez doing the honors. And his job's done, and it is a job well done. That punt fights deep into enemy territory, out of bounds at the 7. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. Pittsburgh offense to the line. Here's 1st and 10. We'll get to Johnson to start this drive. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Going to be 2nd down. Following the play, we have an injured Steeler. The training staff out there to check on him as we take a pause. Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. On the ground again with Johnson. He'll be brought down just as he gets it up to the 24. Now we'll get a stoppage for an injured player. They're headed out to check on an injured Steeler. To the line and set. Here we go, first down. From the gun, Johnson. And he got what he could there. Call it about 4 yards on first down. Now hold on, everyone. There's a Browns player shaken up after that play, and he's in need of some attention.